It's here, and it is exquisite. I knew it, and I called it. This retrograde period was not finished with me just yet. Just as it started hitting me the week before the actual retrograde, it's been hitting me the week after the actual retrograde. That's how these things typically happen. They usually hit you right at the beginning and right at the end, the hardest. Entire hard drives began disappearing from my computer. They weren't being recognized. It wasn't the cable, it wasn't the power supply. When I plugged the first solid-state drive to do this into another SATA header on the motherboard, it came back. But then 2 more disappeared, and then came back upon a reboot. And then the original solid-state drive disappeared again later on. So I went ahead and I updated the BIOS on the motherboard and the SATA controller drivers. And now they're all back. But because of the seemingly randomness of them disappearing, only time will tell. But so far, so good. And then they died. The SATA ports on the motherboard went completely out, and I was unable to get them back. I spoke too soon. And so I had to order a completely new motherboard, which is now in and ready to go. I've also had the DVR for our satellite TV start acting up. And in the meantime, I've been reinstalling the basement floor along with my brother, which is in, but we still need to grout and finish up a few other things such as the trim, etc. But in the midst of all the chaos, I've had something really good happen as well. And that is I received my Key of Solomon's sword. And I've been waiting a while for it. It showed up right around Christmas. Because of everything that's been going on, I haven't had the time to actually consecrate or use it yet, but I thought I would take a little time to share it with you and talk about it. The Key of Solomon's sword is meant for Goetic operations. The Lesser Key of Solomon, the Megaton, the Goetia. Now, I have been asked quite a bit, when am I going to talk about the Lesser Key of Solomon and the Goetia? And we'll get more into it at some point. But truth be known, I don't do a whole lot of Goetic operations because there's really not a whole lot that I can accomplish with other magic. Thought forms, and if need be, Enochian magic and other spirits that I can call upon. So I reserve Goetic operations for extreme cases, extreme measures, because I like to do things by the book, by the grimoire. And I'm not all that big on going hungry. And if you're going by the book, you're required to fast before your Goetic operation. And all of my tools weren't up to the specifications in the Lesser Key of Solomon, such as the sword. Now, I have a sword. It's been blessed and consecrated, and it works fine. But if you know that the sword is used to mainly control the unruly spirits, and that many of these spirits aren't particularly happy that you're calling upon them, some are, but not all, then it's a good idea to have your sword up to spec, as well as any other tools required. Now that I have this sword, I may be doing more Goetic operations. I would certainly feel better going into an operation with this, rather than the secondhand makeshift sword I was using prior. And I have to say, it's absolutely incredible. The craftsmanship on this sword is second to none, and I want to thank Gary and Susie over at omegaartworks.com for the excellent job in creating this. Not only do they make this sword, but they also make other Goetic tools as well. Planetary seals, censers, and there was even an Aleister Crowley sword that I was really tempted, but I think I made the right choice getting the Key of Solomon sword. They also have a large selection of athames to choose from. And the best part is, even if they don't have what you're looking for, they can create it. If you can think it up, they can make it, as they specialize in custom creations. I know Gary has made a whole host of things for television and movies as well. And so he's quite capable of manifesting any of your ideas that you may have into reality. He also made the little stand that the sword is on, as I requested a horizontal stand for it to rest upon. And Gary came up with a couple simple ideas for it, and I picked one of the two. And so the stand is custom and is now featured along with it on the site. Now, I want to say that I'm not being paid to give them a plug. I only recommend products that I believe in. And you'll be a believer too once you hold one of these in your hand, because this is quality. This is the best there is. You're not going to find better quality anywhere else, and have them match Goetic specifications if that's what you're looking for. But you're not going to find better anywhere else. I've looked. Now, on the flip side, because these are such high quality items, they're going to be pricey. They're not going to be cheap. You're paying for quality. But Gary and Susie are very accommodating and will work with you on your payment options. In my case, it was half down and half when it was finished. The other thing is that they are busy and are backed up on orders. As such, a bit of patience will be required. I had to wait 7 months for this sword to arrive, as I ordered it in May of last year. So when you head on over and you see something that you like, you want to get your order in now, before the line gets any longer. And I'll leave a link in the description. Again, I want to thank Gary and Susie over at omegaartworks.com for the spectacular job that they've done on what is now the focal point of my temple. Lastly, there still are some 30% off codes for the Words of Power program available over at Twitter. So follow me over at Twitter if you're interested in picking that up, as I did say that it would be a Twitter exclusive. We've got more coming on the way, including a new program that I'm working on. And I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, here's another Mystery School lesson you may have missed. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe for more weekly content to help expand your knowledge. Thanks for all the love and support, and I'll see you next time. Take care.